I get itchier standing in the middle of the living room, staring at the wall where you think a set of sleek speakers could finally give you that cinema-level sound, but you're also wondering if you're about to throw a few $100s into a black hole. You've probably already read a dozen best-in-wall speaker lists, watched a handful of YouTubers rave about the perfect home theater upgrade, and maybe even imagined how cool it would be to control everything from your phone. The problem is, the moment you click Add to Cart, there's that nagging doubt: what if this particular system doesn't play nicely with my TV, or my existing gear, or worse, it sounds great on paper but ends up being a disappointment in the real world? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I'm going to walk through exactly what the Sonos In-Wall by Sonance with amp actually brings to the table, who will feel the payoff, and who would be better off looking elsewhere. First, let's set the stage for what this product is trying to solve. In-wall speakers are marketed as a way to get high-fidelity sound without cluttering the room with bulky floor-standing cabinets. Sonos, already known for its wireless ecosystem, paired up with Sonance, a company that focuses on professional-grade audio installations, to create a kit that includes 2 speakers and an integrated amplifier. The idea is you cut the speakers into the wall, hide the wires, and then use the Sonos app, Apple AirPlay 2, or any voice assistant to stream whatever you want. On paper, you get the brilliant sound claim backed by Sonos's TruePlay tuning technology, plus the convenience of HDMI ARC for TV audio and an RCA line-in for a turntable or older audio source. That sounds like a solid package for a modern, minimalist home theater, right? Now, let's dig into the day-to-day experience. Installing an in-wall speaker always involves some drywall work, a little bit of patience, and often a professional's help if you're not comfortable with a drill and a stud finder. Once the speakers are mounted and the amp is tucked away, usually in a closet or near your AV rack, the real test begins. Does the sound fill the room in a way that feels immersive? And is the integration truly seamless? From the technical side, the built-in amplifier is calibrated to match the Sonance drivers, which means you won't have to worry about pairing the right power rating yourself. That removes a common headache for DIY installers. When you fire up the Sonos app, the system automatically runs a TruePlay calibration that measures how the sound reflects off your walls, ceiling, and furniture, then adjusts the EQ to compensate. In a typical living room with a mix of hard and soft surfaces, I found that the bass response was tighter than what you'd expect from a comparable set of bookshelf speakers placed on a stand. The mids were clear enough that dialogue from a movie stayed intelligible even during action sequences, and the highs had enough sparkle to make a soundtrack feel airy without getting shrill. What's more useful than just good sound is how the system behaves when you switch sources. Because the amp includes an HDMI ARC input, you can route your TV's audio directly through the speakers without needing a separate receiver. I tried it with a 4K HDR TV playing a high-budget sci-fi film, and the dialogue stayed locked to the on-screen actors even when I cranked the volume. The HDMI ARC also handled Dolby Digital and DT-encoded tracks without any noticeable lag, which is something a lot of people worry about when they move away from a traditional AV receiver. The RCA line-in is a nice throwaway for those who still spin vinyl or have a legacy CD player. Just plug it in and the Sonos app automatically adds the source to your list of playback options. But here's where the hidden trade-offs start to surface. The Sonos ecosystem is a double-edged sword. If you're already deep into the Sonos world, say you have a Sonos Beam, a Play 5, or a few smart speakers already synced across rooms, this in-wall kit slides right in and you can group rooms, set up stereo pairs, or even use it as a home theater surround channel with a Sonos soundbar. That kind of integration is a genuine strength because it reduces the learning curve and lets you control everything from a single app. On the flip side, if you're a more traditional AV enthusiast who already owns a dedicated receiver, an older subwoofer, and perhaps a whole home distribution system, you might find the Sonos app a bit limiting. For instance, the Sonos platform doesn't expose low-level EQ tweaks or allow you to manually adjust crossover points beyond what TruePlay does automatically. You also can't use the speakers as a pass-through for a separate AVR's surround processing. You're essentially locking yourself into Sonos's own processing pipeline. If you like to fine-tune each channel with a graphic EQ, Or you need multiple HDMI inputs on the same amp for a game console and a Blu-ray player, you'll have to